What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we made it through the campaign gauntlet.
I shall strike you down.
Yes.
As you guys can see from the video, we managed to defeat Katava in Act 10 and get our mystery box for beating the campaign in the gauntlet. We also got entered. I'm sitting right around 76, so we got entered into a couple draws. I may make the push for 80 just to get entered into the SSD draw, but I'm still not sure about that. But man, what a fun time that was. The gauntlet is a lot of fun. If you haven't jumped in, I would encourage you. There's still 5 days left, and I really hope you guys jump in if it's something you've been wanting to do. Even if you just kill Hillock or just kill, make it through Act 1. It's a lot of fun, and hope you guys are having fun with it too. This gauntlet, it's hardcore, solo self-found, and that was a big eye-opener for me. For a while, I always kind of wondered, why are people playing hardcore? I remember about a year ago, I came into the ARPG genre and with Diablo 4, and I always wondered, why are people playing hardcore? Why would you want to lose hundreds of hours of progress for one death? But it really is just such a different way to play, and it's exhilarating, going through that, knowing that each step of the way you need to do certain prep and make certain checks and really get your gear proper in order to move on to the next stage, because you are worried about that death. It's a different way to play, but it is exciting. Do I think I'm gonna be loading up hardcore at the start of next season? Probably not. I still really love softcore trade, but it is such a different way to play, and I'm really happy that I experienced it with this gauntlet. So, picking a build. What did I think when I was picking a build for this? I made a video last week talking about the 3 builds I had in mind, and I actually started on Hierophant, or Templar. I actually started on Templar. I went in, and I died about 8 times to Hillock trying to kill him. It was really hard. It's a melee. It's a very slow swig. Plus, I'm not the best. So after that, after dying a bunch of times and laughing to myself, I thought, screw it. I'm just going to go Witch. That was what I was thinking initially, was doing SRS. So I'm just going to go Witch. Witch was incredibly easy. You're just range hitting him down. I mean, I don't even think I had to use a flask besides mana. So you get Hillock down, move into town, and I went with SRS. super comfy for leveling. Super, super comfy. You're keeping everything at distance from you. Everything is fighting your minions and not you. So it was a great time. You know, still had a couple close calls, but we managed to make it through pretty unscathed thanks to this build, a lot of over leveling, and really capping my life. As you can see here, we've got 5,177 life, and that is at the end of the campaign. So I felt really good about that. Make sure you guys over level. If you guys are getting into this Gauntlet, over leveling is huge. I was between 5 to 10 levels over leveled for most of the acts, and it made a huge difference. Just giving you that comfiness of being able to take a few hits really just makes things better. And besides over leveling and making sure you have a lot of life, there are a couple things during the campaign that you can do to make things easier on you. There is a strong box in the prison hidden behind a switch. You do the switch and the wall drops down. Once you kill the enemies from the strong box, it will drop a lot of flasks. This is a great place to get an early bismuth flask to give you those early Act 1 resistances that you're going to need. For later in the game, once you're in Acts 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, there is 30% of physical damage as extra chaos, so it is huge. In Act 9, you are able to start doing betrayal, so that's what I did. I did a couple betrayals, got some unveils, got the LE plus chaos resistances, and crafted that on some of my gear to make sure I had capped chaos res going into the depraved Trinity, which is the Act 9 final boss, and going into Act 10. Make sure you use your portals. I can't say it enough. There were fights where I was doing 10, 12 portals per fight. Now that might have been overly zealous with the portals, but anything you can do to make yourself safer and really use up those grace periods to evade all the dangerous mechanics of certain boss fights, make sure you do that. Boats are another big thing. I absolutely loved using the boats. You can do them very early. I was sending literally like 60 crops or between 60 and 120 crops I would send each shipment, and you're getting back a good amount of currency. As you can see here, I've got a good amount of popcorn currency. I even got a divine from one of the shitty little 100 crop boats. It's definitely good, and I would highly recommend it. You also get runes. If you're shipping to Ribbonfell, you can get runes, and that is how I actually managed to get an enchant. Minions deal more damage on my wand, so I've got a pretty decent wand here. It's got the 73 plus the 22 plus the 27 increased minion damage, so I was really happy with that. We'll just go through the rest of my build here just to show you guys what I was working with. My helmet's pretty good. Life, a little bit of dex, some mana, not bad. And armor. I did go with all armor and energy shield rolls just to get that little bit of extra protection from energy shield. And then armor is huge in Acts 9 and 10, especially for Katava. Katava in Act 10 pretty much only deals physical and fire damage, so making sure you have max fire res and as a high amount of damage reduction, physical damage reduction as you can, very important. My chest piece, amazing. It's got triple res with the 113 life. Very happy with that. Got gloves. You know, nothing special, but life, little bit of armor, some strength. And as you can see there, we got the veiled mod for the lightning chaos resist. Belt, you know, just life. Pretty much everything. I was just looking for life. If it had a lot of life, I was using it. I didn't really care. Rings. This one's not very good, but, you know, it is the Settlers League, right? This ring was pretty decent. I was happy when I chaosed that one. This is alright. It's got the intelligence I need, a little bit of cast speed, some life, and some mana. Big shield. Big shield. A lot of life. Got the lightning and chaos res. More armor. These boots dropped in the wild for me, and they are insane. 108 life, 31 cold resist, 32 lightning resist, 30% increased movement speed. These boots were godly. And then on the flask, I made sure I had everything. The shock was for, I didn't know if Chevron shocked or not, but I just wanted to have it just in case. Shock can be, man, such a huge, when you're shocked, you take so much damage, it feels like. So I also had the Corrupted Blood Flask, as well as the Chill and Freeze Flask. And then we had, just for a little bit of spell suppression, chance, phasing, and really it had the increased armor, which I tried for the life of me to get it rolled on this, and it just would not roll. So, unlucky. But we got the armor flask and that, and all that together, you know, got me through the campaign. It was nothing special, but it was pretty good. I ended up doing a lot of my own pathing as far as the tree goes. So we did come down here, get a lot of these nodes. We got all this armor, reduced extra damage from critical strikes, increased energy shield. We got all these reduced cost of skills plus max life. I then pathed over here to get this max life. This is huge. We then pathed up here, more max life. And reservation efficiency. This allows you to run determination. Having this plus these right here, you need these nodes plus this and this mastery in order to run determination and skitter bots and clarity. And those are the orders I'm running. If you're wondering the order I took, you're going to start pathing up here. You're then going to go to the minions here. I would then path this way, get the life early, and then come this way. We get the life and regen. Yes, you get the early life and mana regen down here, and then you go across to here. Don't worry about this. This is just chaos res and corrupted blood. I did that probably near the start of Act 5 or Act 6. I did that. Then you get the minion life and attack speed and cast speed nodes, pathing up through more life. Then you get your mana reservation efficiency going down into the minion damage. After that, you can path down here, or you can path down here while you're doing it. You know, it's up to you really. And then yeah, then I came down here, got this. I actually went here, got this life first, just because it's so big with the 10% plus 20 and the plus 20 to maximum life. It is huge. I came down here, got these. I did not get these two. I then pathed over here, got all these, and then these two were like, you know, my last little, just to give me that little extra bit of life going into Katava. And that's it, man. I'm very happy with how the build went. I'm very happy with how it performed. I did I made a POB, or I saved the POB of my build at the end of Act 10, so you guys can see exactly what it is. And if you guys want to copy it, try and make it through in the last few days, please feel free. We're using Holy Flame Totem. Ended up being good, a little distraction, you know, does a little bit of damage, but main thing is it summons the phantasms, and those help a lot. Yeah, just a fun build. I got the 5 link I got was pretty early on this chess piece, so that was great to get. I just had a lot of time. I gained a lot of appreciation for hardcore, the mode, and the people that do it. It is such a different experience from softcore trade, where in softcore trade, a lot of your focus is on the thing mainly that I love about softcore trade is that I can go spend time farming something that I really enjoy and then trade with someone who's farmed something they really enjoy to get something that I want. And for me, that's just a really great experience in the game. And that's what I love about softcore trade and about league starts. But hardcore solo self-found, it is very cool. You know, having to go through your own gear, using all, you know, your currency as efficiently as possible to try and make little changes, and, you know, really over preparing yourself so that, because in the back of your mind, there's always that thing, you can only die once. So you really got to be prepared and feel good before you're going into these fights. And it was very cool to experience this type of gameplay. I'll definitely be participating in the next Gauntlet and seeing if I can make it even further than this one. And maybe it won't be getting carried on a minion build. Maybe I'll do something else. I want to give a shout out to twitch.tv/beta. He's on YouTube as well. Beta on YouTube. Just going to call him Beta. Beta made a fantastic guide for SRS Guardian. And while I didn't play Guardian, I played Necro. I did take a lot of his advice as far as the SRS links, using certain things like meat shield. And then as well, right here, he has brilliant stuff written about what to use for each boss. Like in the final boss of Act 2, Val Oversoul, there's a lot of ads. He's spawning in a lot of stuff. So you want to keep melee splash on, so you're doing that extra AoE damage to all the ads around him. But if it's a boss where it's just him, then yeah, you want to switch to Ruthless to get that extra damage. He has amazing written guide through all the acts here. So Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, telling you all the different things you need to know, the recommended things you need for each boss, and tips. So make sure you have for Kaom, capped fire resistance, at least 1300 life. It was great seeing little things like that. For the life most part, I was way over what he was recommending, but that was just a personal choice because I wanted to be really safe and not really... I wanted to take the chance of dying out of it as much as I possibly could. I still almost died a bunch of times, even with the super overly leveled and overlifed. But yeah, if you're looking for a guide, this will be in the description. Even if you're not playing SRS, it's just a great guide to use while you're going through the campaign. Shout out Beta, really appreciate your guide, man. I saved my POB here, so you can look over it if you want and use it. I first upgraded Commander of Darkness in first lab. Second lab was Mindless Aggression to get the more damage and minion life. And then third was Unholy Might to convert the physical damage to chaos and apply Withered on hit so that I'm doing more damage for Kitava. I did this in Act 10. Massive shout out to ZIZARAN and all the guys helping run the event. Steel Mage, great commentary from Steel Mage during watching the live streams. As a newer player, I know I've put in a lot of hours so far, but it's still only my third league. As a newer player, Steel Mage's commentary is amazing, highlighting what the thought process is of Ben and all these players going into fights, what's happening in the fights, little things you might miss, what debuffs do what. It's just been such a fun experience tuning into all the stuff, watching the different bosses. We did just see Ben actually die to Uber Maven, which was just insane. Those balls that were tracking him around blew up so fast when he went in to try and bait them and then flame dash away. Somehow he's already re-rolling immediately after he died. So I'm excited to see how far he goes. I'm excited to see where the rest of the Gauntlet goes. Hopefully you guys are having a lot of fun with it. If you guys haven't given it a try, make sure you just dive in. Even if you fight Hillock. Hillock itself is a fun experience. Just to, you know, hear that the Maven voice right when you're walking up to Hillock was really cool. Shout out to everyone putting on the Runic Strife Gauntlet. Shout out to GGG for just being an incredible team that just works with the community to make these incredible events. Coming from other games where the developers just aren't as involved in the game, it is really refreshing. I'm a PoE and GGG fanboy now, so you can mark that down. Be sure to let me know in the comments if you guys are having any luck with the Gauntlet, or if you guys got some funny death stories or something like that. I'd love to hear about how you guys are doing. Thank you guys again for watching the videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.